So there is a lot of things that I dislike in the online world and that I wish didn't exist, but AI products and AI marketing may be my least favorite ever. But this isn't just like another dystopian consumer trend, you know, people buying mindlessly again or whatever. This is a symbolic category of product that feels like a true warning that the bad times are coming, or may already be here. This phenomenon, we'll call it, blends the worst parts of AI-generated slop online with the hyperspeed trend cycle of the real world and the fast fashion trash that we see dominating our consumer landscape. There is a weird sensationalist part of these products that is unnerving and disturbing. And in pretty much all of these examples, we're seeing products that nobody ever needed. They're all completely unnecessary. And for some reason, just because these products can technically exist, they do. Now, there are a couple versions of this trend that exist on a spectrum, and they're both horrible, but one's worse than the other. On the most normal side of this is like the Temu dropshipper on steroids. These are products that are created and promoted using AI, and they all suck for the reasons that unimaginative, mindless consumer garbage always sucks. But on the other end of this spectrum, there are products that are clearly AI generated, and that seems to be the point. Like, there's an aesthetic to these products, which is that they are AI generated. Like a giant gorilla couch is nothing that anyone has ever wanted to design or anything that anybody would really want to buy, but an AI image generator made one. A company said, hey, let's give it a shot, and then the rest is history. Happily ever after. AI has this weird way of making something that is just slightly off-putting, sort of confusing, and probably horribly impractical. And so, what is our natural human response? We need to have it. Today's video is sponsored by Strawberry.me. All right, so if you were thinking, watching that you are immune to this, like you don't see these ads, or if you do see them, you don't even think about it, I hate to say, but you have definitely seen AI-generated ads already in your life. Some of them are a little harder to tell that they're AI, like the Coke commercial that went very viral during the holidays last year. A whole bunch of people thought that was real, but especially in print and photo form, these photos can be faked extremely easily, and they are popping up everywhere and under the radar. But there is another side of all of this, which is ads and products and content online that is made by AI and is very obviously AI generated, and that is the literal point. We found this Instagram account through one of Sambucha's YouTube series about this sort of thing. It's disturbing. This account has 6.3 million followers as of recording this video, and every single piece of content on here is blatantly AI generated, although it is not labeled as such. And there's tons of comments and engagement on these posts from like real people who are just honestly interacting with it. Of course, there's going to be a certain amount of bots, but there's actually people I know in the real world who follow this account.
So can you explain this account? Are these AI designs that end up being really cheap, poorly made products that are based on the ads?
So that's the thing. I think that these accounts exist to engagement farm more than anything, because obviously they're creating these like fantastical things that would be so cool if they were real. And then all of the shitty drop shippers creating like 2D images of a 3D object and selling that, or like selling 3D printed things that look like crap. They're basing their items, they're basing what the demand is off of these accounts. So they're going to these accounts, they're seeing the freaking cat-shaped sleeping bag, right? And they're going, wow, everybody in the comment section really loves this and it has 2.3 million views or whatever. They find a manufacturer in China that can make something kind of similar that's just terrible quality, let's say, and then they're putting it on their Temu shop with an AI-generated image that they've based on this Instagram account, right? Or a TikTok account or whatever it is. They're finding the source image is AI from the start. The concept of these products is AI from the start. They're taking that and like manufacturing it as shittily as possible and then selling that to the consumer.
I am horrified to see that like the engagement is kind of like 50-50. The views are monstrous. Millions of views is like kind of a standard. Up to like 10 million, 13 million, 22 million views. Like their pinned one has 125 million views.
Oh my God.
Like these are huge pieces of content that are getting massive viewership. This is the web page that they link in the bio for this account. They have a blog that pitches and lays it all out as if these are actual products that you can buy. They have dimensions for the spaceship kid bed, dimensions for a product that doesn't exist.
And the article is so long, by the way, it takes forever to scroll to the bottom.
This isn't real. It's not a real thing. But even if the products aren't real, or maybe not quite what they are advertised as, it's created a whole world of very viral videos online by some of the biggest creators buying and testing these AI products, which in a weird sort of way has made them successful on their own. Hope Scope has made at least 6 of these videos. Sambucha made a bunch of them. Rhett and Link are doing it. And honestly, like a ton of other, like really high level creators with a ton of subscribers have used this formula to get a bunch of views. And the reason why I think these videos are so popular and why they get recreated over and over again is that it combines a bunch of factors that are all pretty well viral guarantees. One, it's ultimately just shopping content. These are basically a haul video, an unboxing video. It's the kind of thing that does very well online because our whole world revolves around consumerism. So if you want to make a video that's probably going to go somewhat viral, make it about a very interesting product. 2, there is a natural risk built in here. This format perfectly answers everyone's question every time they see one of these ads. I wonder if it's real, right? So instead of you having to buy the product and waste all that money and time and whatever, a content creator gets a write-off and provides you with some entertainment. And then I guess on top of that, some random factory on the other side of the planet gets a sale. And 3, people love to hate AI. There is like a collective hatred of AI, at least on this side of the world. So seeing a YouTuber buy some of the dumbest stuff they can find on the internet that you already assumed was gonna be garbage, and then going and testing it and realizing that, yeah, indeed it is fake and terrible is validating, right? It gives you the kind of dopamine rush that you were expecting from that experience. But this whole thing is not just fun and games because it's going to have an impact on what we see happen to our consumer world in the future. The sad reality is most of what we see happening out there is just mindless consumerism, and that is why we are so pumped that we have a sponsor that offers a genuinely helpful service. Strawberry.me is making high quality career coaching accessible and actionable, giving professionals at every stage the tools and support that they need to stop waiting for opportunities and start creating them. Now, I have personally used Strawberry.me to help me get my business in order before my second kid is born later this summer, and I genuinely got a lot of value out of it. In the same way that you might go to therapy because you don't necessarily want to burden your loved ones with your emotional challenges, it can also feel really tough to be constantly talking about yourself and your career goals with your family and friends. My wife, frankly, is probably tired of hearing me talk about YouTube all the time. So having this neutral third party to hear out my concerns and my thoughts about this big transition was hugely important to getting me to actually figure out how to act on them. Like, we did the session and I actually applied all of the things that we talked about in my session to my workflow. I'm genuinely pumped on the service because it's actually helped me already. Strawberry.me matches you with a certified career coach that can help you get clear on your goals and then create a personalized strategic plan on how to achieve them. Whether you are preparing for a job transition, you're applying to a bunch of jobs and you're not having success, or you're looking to engage in like a salary negotiation at work or whatever, Strawberry.me can help you get through all of those things. I think that this is pretty common nowadays. I think a lot of people are brainstorming new startup ideas or workshopping big life changes, but they're not able to translate that into something tangible and lasting. And Strawberry.me is probably a really good fit for those people. Because I've had a lot of these kinds of conversations, half drunk with my buddies or whatever over a glass of wine with my wife, but our session on strawberry.me ended with a list of actionable items to work on and a summary of the things that we discussed on our call so I could reference it later. And look, we live in the modern world, so you don't have to leave your house to do this. It's all online, so you can participate from anywhere. So if you're gearing up to take your career to the next level, you can get matched with a certified career coach now at strawberry.me/Levi and claim 50% off your first coaching session. A huge thank you to strawberry.me for doing what you do, for sponsoring today's episode. Now let's get back into the nightmare. So what does this kind of content and the success of these kinds of products mean for the future of humanity generally? Well, we're gonna see more AI products and more ads promoting them. Just like how your algorithm is constantly monitoring your online activity to optimize your feed and the advertisements that you get served, platforms and sellers are seeing which AI products work and which ones do not. We are still in the early days of this trend, or this AI bubble that we're in, and videos like this are kind of like the ground zero to test what the market will tolerate. Because ads only work if they sell what they're promoting, right? So they're building ads by the millions to see which ones hit. And the problem is when I say they, I'm talking about just like normal people in the world trying to make money. Like in my head, like I want to just believe that there is just some ugly, gross billionaire who's sitting here just like feeding all this garbage AI into our faces. And they're the ones who made the product. They're the ones who created the issue in the first place, but it is everyday people who are spreading this stuff everywhere. If you watched our TikTok shop video, I think it was like almost 2 years ago now, you'll know that TikTok shop is basically a different version of Temu with its own entire ecosystem of drop shippers who also create content to try and promote and sell products within the app. These creators were already using AI to write scripts and generate content back then. But now there's actually an in-app video generator for sellers to use to promote their garbage. This is largely where a lot of this stuff is happening. TikTok Shop, Etsy, of course, has become a cesspool of this kind of garbage. Temu is one of the originals in the game, but even Amazon is selling stuff within this realm too. And probably the worst part for me is that this isn't just happening online. AI slop is creeping into the real world too. Massive corporations are being flamed for their use of AI in marketing materials and stuff like that. We kind of expected that to happen. And yes, we should flame them as hard as possible whenever they do. But very depressingly is the small businesses that are using AI to create marketing materials for their food trucks or their farmers markets or whatever. These are regular people who just don't realize what it really means at like a broader societal level when you embrace this kind of technology. These people are just trying to make their businesses successful. They're just trying to make sure that their products look good, and they don't realize that for a certain portion of the population, it's just an enormous red flag. We've seen a ton of backlash to this kind of stuff online. There's whole like montage videos of people calling out AI generated advertising material at like fairs and other places like that online because there is something about it that's just, it's just icky. It's just gross. Like there's a food truck near where I live, and like I took a picture of it and sent it in the group chat because it was just like, damn, dude, this is such a bummer. Like, A, your food doesn't look like that. And like, for anyone who's spent any time thinking about this, it's just very blatantly AI generated crap. It feels bad to on a small business that's like trying to provide a service that people might actually want. But like, when you use AI posters that don't even look real, it's like, bro, come on. And also, I guess I should acknowledge that like there is another side of society that is not like me and maybe you who care about this stuff. Like a lot of people are just there with their family and they just want churros, and they're not looking at the images to figure out whether or not they're real or not. And even if they are fake, they really don't care. As long as the churro is there and it's dipped in some ice cream or whatever, they don't give a shit. And that's fair. That's actually fine. But it just sets an unfortunate precedent. So I'm being bitter. I'm wound up and I'm not having a good time about it. But what does this actually mean? Like if I'm so worried, what am I worried about? Well, my expectation is that what this is going to do is lower the bar even further. Like fast fashion normalized low quality clothing. Fast furniture normalized low quality household goods. And AI is going to normalize a whole new lower quality, more sketchy version of consumerism. Lou found this line in an article and I frickin' loved it. This summarizes it perfectly. To me, a restaurant that employs AI art is capitulating to the culture of slop, akin to reheating pre-made food from Cisco. Now, if you are subscribed to the channel, you might have seen that we made a video all about Wonder, which is weirdly sort of like the parallel version of this story. Like it's basically AI food. So we are seeing this already in multiple different layers of society. AI is creeping in everywhere, and in every version, I'm mad. I hate it. I hate all of it.
The periodic table is just jarbled words. We have new planets called Mark.
In this U.S. map, Louisiana is Lukong, Alabama is Alatome, Illinois is Vitoise, and South Carolina is South Quanto.
I'm not like a hateful guy. Like I would say that like my default perspective, like every day I would say like I wake up with like generally like a positive outlook. This stuff gets me, I guess I'm crashing out. I guess is this what it is? I'm having my first internet crash out. Maybe not my first, but listen, brands and companies are slopifying themselves because they are just hoping that if they force this shift hard enough, then eventually consumer expectations will shift with it. And they have successfully, in that case, eliminated the needs for humans to be a part of anything, and they can keep all those profits for themselves. The only positive that I have coming from this whole thing, and it is kind of genuinely hopeful here, is that people really hate this. We are seeing more and more low-effort products and low-effort ads that are going to oversaturate the market. This saturation of AI garbage will, yes, overwhelm our news feeds and our landfills, but it will also make genuine art and high-quality products that much more desirable. Art will inevitably evolve beyond AI. People will find themselves back in the analog world in search of meaning. And I think we are going to see more hand-sewn, hand-drawn, crafty, human ways of making stuff and promoting stuff in the future. So go out there and touch some grass. Support your local businesses, especially if they're like hand-drawn on those signs, you know what I'm saying? The Art of Gathering by Priya Parker, I really wanted to put into this list because I think it offers an antidote to a lot of the online world that we talk about. Like the last two books we've read have been very online focused, and it would be great if this next one was more about solutions. And I think that one of the solutions that is really overlooked nowadays is gathering and creating community, and that's what The Art of Gathering by Priya Parker is all about. She analyzes a lot of the socially sort of